Chapter 6. A Noble's Offer. Cristine led Lone through the back hallway, her movements graceful and deliberate. She didn't speak as they passed ornate rooms filled with polished wood and velvet chairs. Lone kept his head low, his eyes darting from one gilded detail to the next. The opulence only reminded him how little he belonged here. At the rear of the house, Cristine opened a heavy wooden door. A draft of cool air spilled out from below. Lone hesitated, then followed her down the narrow steps. The basement was dim, lit only by a sliver of light from a small window near the ceiling. Dust and old wood scented the air. Lone lingered near the door, unease tightening his chest. A noble's house, and I'm standing in it like some rat that wandered in. If she changes her mind, I'm trapped. His eyes flicked to the narrow window. At least there's an escape. Cristine noticed his pause and said softly, "You're already thinking about running, aren't you?" Lone turned sharply toward her. "What makes you say that?" he asked, trying to mask his unease. "The way you keep looking at everything, the door, the shadows, that window," Cristine replied, leaning against the wall with her arms crossed. "You don't know how to be safe. I understand." A faint smile touched her lips. "But you don't have to run from me. Not yet." "It's not about running from you," Lone muttered. "I just don't know if I can trust you." "You don't have to trust me completely," Cristine said evenly. "Not yet, just enough to let me help you." After a pause she added, "I know what it's like to be out of place." His brows furrowed. "You? Out of place? You live in all this?" Cristine let out a short, dry laugh. "Do you think walls like these ever asked me who I wanted to be? Family, duty, expectation, they don't let you choose." She gestured at the basement. "I may look like I belong, but that doesn't mean I feel it." He studied her warily. "So what are you really offering me? Clothes and a place to hide? Sounds too good to be true." Cristine's expression sharpened. "It's more than that. I'm offering you a way out of whatever's chasing you. Maybe even a way to fight back." Her words struck like a blade. Lone clenched his fists. "Fight back? Against them? Or is this just another trap?" "I don't need anyone's help," he said. "I've been fine on my own." Cristine arched a brow, her lips curling into a sly smile. "Fine? If this is fine, then I'd pay good fucking coin to see what your version of disaster looks like." Lone scowled, heat rising to his face. "Glad to know I'm worth a laugh." Cristine smirked. "Don't flatter yourself. You're just entertaining." Lone gritted his teeth. "You think this is a game?" "It's survival," she shot back. "And you're not convincing me you're good at it." "That's not true," Lone snapped, his voice sharp. Cristine tilted her head, her gaze narrowing. "People don't risk their necks in the square just to survive. So either you're lying, or you're worse at this than you look." He clenched his jaw and looked away. "I told you, I'm just trying to survive." Cristine studied him a moment longer, then said with dry amusement, "Survive? No, you don't move like a beggar. More like a wolf trying too hard to pass as a stray dog." The remark stung, but it was too close to the truth for him to deny. Cristine stepped closer, her voice lower. "Clothes won't save you. The square eats people who only hide. So tell me, Lone, what keeps you moving? Or are you planning to just look fashionable while dying?" The question cut too close. Lone swallowed hard. "What do you want from me?" "A promise," Cristine answered. Suspicion flared in his eyes. "A promise? What could I possibly promise you?" "That you'll tell me your story," she said plainly. "Why you're here, why you're risking everything. I won't help you if I don't understand." The weight of her request pressed down on him. Lone's chest tightened. "If I say it out loud, it becomes real again." "I can't tell you everything," he admitted, voice low. "But I'll tell you this much, I came to the main square for revenge." Cristine tilted her head, unimpressed. Revenge? That's a vague answer, Lone. Revenge against whom? Stray thieves? Merchants who cheated you? Her skepticism clawed at him. His fists trembled at his sides as the truth burned in his throat. He had never spoken it aloud, never allowed the words to harden into sound. Then he spat the name, like poison. The Black Vultures. They're the ones who did it. They slaughtered my family and left me to rot. Everything I've done since, every theft, every fight, was to live long enough to watch them bleed. Quote. Cristine's brow arched, and for a heartbeat her face was unreadable. Then her lips curved into a sharp, almost mocking smile. The Black Vultures, she repeated, dragging out the name as if it were beneath her. That's your grand enemy? That's what all this rage is for? Her voice dripped with sarcasm, but there was steel underneath. They're fucking gutter trash. A pack of thugs swinging rusty knives in the dark. And you want to stake your life on them? Lone's head snapped up, his eyes blazing. They butchered my family, he snarled, the words tearing out of him raw. They deserve worse than death. Cristine didn't flinch. She stepped closer, so close it felt as if she might kiss him, though her eyes stayed cold and calculating. When she spoke, her voice was low and chilling, each word cutting straight through his fury. Oh, they deserve death, no doubt. They're filth. But don't fool yourself, Lone. She gestured around, not at the basement but beyond, to the world outside. In this kingdom, gangs like the Black Vultures are nothing more than fleas on a wolf's back. Kill one nest of them, and a dozen more will crawl out. Her eyes gleamed, sharp and knowing. You think vengeance ends with them? No, they're minnows in an ocean full of predators. And the predators, the guilds, the families, the nobles, will swallow you whole if you stumble into their waters. Lone's jaw clenched. His nails dug into his palms until he felt pain. But Cristine wasn't finished. She tilted her head, studying him as if weighing a gamble. So what then? She asked, her voice laced with cutting amusement. You cut a few throats, spill some blood in the mud, and you think that makes it right? That makes you whole again? The question struck deeper than any insult. Lone's lips parted, but no words came. Rage churned in his chest, tangled with something heavier, doubt. Cristine's smirk widened just enough to sting. She leaned back slightly, her tone smooth but merciless. Revenge is a performance, Lone. And the square loves a good tragedy. Just make sure you're not the fool bleeding out on stage for their applause. Silence followed, thick and suffocating. The only sound was Lone's heartbeat pounding in his ears, louder than the distant clatter of the city above. He wanted to shout, to deny her, but the truth in her words gnawed at him like rot. He swallowed hard, forcing the lump in his throat down. Maybe I don't care who notices, he muttered. Maybe I want them to. Cristine's smirk returned, sharp and knowing. Then you'd better learn how to swim in deep waters. Because revenge is a current, Lone. Once it pulls you under, you don't get to choose where it takes you, or who it drowns along the way. Lone's shoulders still felt heavy with her words, but instinct pulled his eyes toward the small window near the ceiling. He moved closer and pressed against the wall, careful not to make a sound. Outside, the street was quiet. The murmur of passing guards had faded, their footsteps long gone. He narrowed his eyes, scanning the shadows for movement. Nothing. The air outside was clean, for now. He slid his fingers against the edge of the frame, testing it. The window was narrow, but he could fit through if he angled his shoulders. It would be quieter than slipping back through the halls of a noble's house. Cristine's voice broke the silence behind him. If you ever come here again, she said, her tone more measured now, don't bother knocking. Just tip that flower pot outside the window onto the ground. That way I'll know you're in my basement, and no one else will. Lone glanced back at her, surprised. A flower pot? Her lips curved into that sharp half-smile of hers. Better than you banging at my door like some desperate thief, isn't it? He gave a faint snort, almost a laugh. Fair enough. Cristine stepped away from the stairs, her figure outlined faintly by the dim light. Go, before someone wonders why a carriage stopped outside my house. And, Lone, her voice softened just a fraction. Good luck out there. Remember, this place will always be here if you need to disappear. For the first time, Lone allowed himself a small, genuine smile. Thank you. As he lifted himself toward the window, he thought, she's not so bad, just wish her tongue wasn't sharp enough to cut stone. With one last glance back at her, he slipped through the frame into the night.